Sometimes the biggest shocks in life don't come from some huge dramatic event. No, sometimes they come from just taking a walk. A simple, everyday walk can lead to a financial discovery so absolutely jaw-dropping it just changes how you see things. Let's dive into this one.
Okay, let this number sink in for a second. 90,000 Kenyan shillings. Now, for those of you listening elsewhere, that's about $700 US. So what do you think that's for? A down payment on a car, maybe? A nice plot of land somewhere? No. The reality is so much more specific, and honestly, so much funnier.
For a circumcision package. I'm not kidding, a full package deal offered at one of the top hospitals in Nairobi. The moment our narrator laid eyes on this price tag, it was like two worlds colliding right in front of him. The modern, expensive city and the village he grew up in.
So let's set the scene. Our guy is just strolling through Nairobi, minding his own business, probably thinking about what to have for lunch. And then he makes a fateful decision. He glances over at the Nairobi Hospital notice board, a decision he was about to seriously and hilariously regret.
And there it is, a crisp blue and white poster advertising the package. He says he froze on the spot, like a motorcycle taxi driver who just spotted the traffic police up ahead. His eyebrows shot right up, and he swears he could literally hear his wallet letting out a little scream from deep inside his pocket.
The disbelief just hits him like a ton of bricks. 90,000 shillings? His mind is just racing, trying to make sense of it. What could possibly justify that? Is the procedure gold-plated? Does it come with a free land title? Maybe you get a diploma in circumcision management afterwards. There has to be something else included, right? Well, this very modern price tag awakens something deep inside of him, what he calls his inner villager. And let me tell you, that inner villager is not impressed. In fact, he's outraged, and he immediately starts thinking about how things were done back home in Gachi.
And wow, the contrast is it's staggering. You've got the Nairobi Hospital package on one side, 90 grand, guaranteed anesthesia, sterile tools, the whole shebang. And on the other side, the village method. The price? Absolutely free. 0 bob. The anesthesia? Oh, that was just 2 of your buddies holding you down. It is a stark, and let's be honest, a pretty hilarious difference.
So what exactly did that free option get you? Well, it had its own special package of essentials. You had one respected elder, one, let's say well-used but blessed blade, a cup of traditional fermented milk, a couple of strong friends for moral and physical support, and of course, a mother praying her heart out somewhere in the background.
Of course, just because there was no financial bill doesn't mean there wasn't a cost. And this line just captures it perfectly. The real price was a psychological one, something you carry with you forever.
And this whole contrast thing even extends to the doctors themselves. See, the village had its own specialist, a man affectionately known as Dr. Kamande Wablaid, and he was absolutely nothing like a modern doctor you'd see in a hospital.
I mean, just look at this comparison. The Nairobi specialist, clean white coat, shiny stainless steel tools. Kamande Wablaid, a well-worn brown coat that's seen a few seasons, and his tools carried in a paper bag. And the fee, well, it wasn't 90,000 shillings. It was respect and maybe a nice hearty plate of makimo.
So our narrator starts thinking about the fallout. What would his childhood friends, his age set, the very guys who probably went through this exact village experience with him, what would they say if they heard about this 90K price tag?
First up, you've got Wamugi. He immediately tries to connect this insane price to modern tech. Does the wound heal with Wi-Fi? It's such a perfect, ridiculous question that just shows how completely out of touch this price feels.
Then you have Mungai. He's the practical, business-minded one. He's trying to rationalize it financially. For that kind of money, he figures you must be getting shares in the hospital. You're not a patient, you're an investor. It's a lifetime investment.
Karuri, on the other hand, takes it straight into science fiction. The only way this price makes any sense to him is if the equipment is literally from another planet. They must be using some kind of high-tech laser on loan from NASA.
And finally, there's Ninja, the most dramatic of the bunch. No questions, no theories, no jokes. His reaction is the most visceral and maybe the most relatable for a lot of us. He would just hear the number and pass out cold. End of story. So let's get back to our narrator, standing there, frozen in front of that poster. In that one moment, he's feeling the full weight of his past. He can almost hear the voices of his ancestors from Gachi, whispering some good old-fashioned, time-honored advice in his ear.
So what does he do? His final move is a quiet retreat.
He doesn't argue, he doesn't complain out loud, he just shakes his head and walks away. He even joked that he was afraid the poster itself was going to come to life and start chasing him down the street, demanding a deposit.
Later on, a friend asked him why he looked so shaken up, and he summed up the entire experience with this gem. It perfectly captures the whole conflict, right? The demands and budgets of the modern world versus the simple, free wisdom of the village. And in the end, this whole thing gives him a brand new way to describe himself. He coins this term, economically circumcised. It's brilliant, isn't it? It means being sharp, being aware of the modern world, but also being proudly, unapologetically cost-effective, a true product of his roots. This whole hilarious story leaves us with a pretty serious question to chew on, though. As we all move forward and embrace modern, safer, and more expensive ways of doing things, what is the real price of all this progress? Is it just about the money? Or, in gaining all this convenience, are we maybe losing a little piece of our community, our traditions, and that old village wisdom along the way? It's definitely something to think about.